Your breakfast is rotting inside you, not figuratively, literally fermenting in your colon for up to 72 hours, releasing compounds that age your gut cells faster than cigarette smoke ages your lungs. And it's happening right now. By the end of this video, you'll understand why doctors are seeing 45-year-olds with the colon tissue of 65-year-olds, and why colorectal cancer, a disease we used to call old person's cancer, is now the #1 cancer killer for men under 50. Stay with me, because what's causing this will completely change how you think about every meal you eat. Meet Sarah, 38 years old, marathon runner, meal prepper. She did everything right, or so she thought. Her diet? Chicken breast, protein bars, Greek yogurt, the occasional salad, clean eating by Instagram standards. Then came the blood, just a little at first. She ignored it for 6 months, thinking it was hemorrhoids from running. When she finally got the colonoscopy, the gastroenterologist looked confused. He asked her age 3 times. Stage 3 colorectal cancer. At 38, the tumor was 4 centimeters. Her doctor said her colon tissue looked like it belonged to someone 20 years older. Chronic inflammation markers were through the roof. The kicker? Sarah's diet, the one she thought was protecting her, was missing the single most important factor for colon health. And she's not alone. According to the American Cancer Society's 2024 report, colorectal cancer rates in adults under 55 have increased by 51% since 1994. Let that sink in. We're talking about 153,000 new cases diagnosed in 2024 alone, with 20,000 of those in people under 50. This isn't a small uptick. This is an epidemic hiding in plain sight. The National Cancer Institute data from 2024 shows something even more disturbing. For every decade younger you are, your risk is increasing faster. Someone born in 1990 has double the colon cancer risk and quadruple the rectal cancer risk compared to someone born in 1950 at the same age. Your birth year is now a bigger risk factor than family history for many people. And here's the financial gut punch. According to 2025 healthcare economics data, the average cost of colorectal cancer treatment ranges from $38,000 to over $200,000 depending on stage. But the real cost? The years stolen. The median age of diagnosis for this rising cohort is now 43. That's potentially 40 years of life disrupted or ended. So what's the villain here? It's not just one thing. It's a biological cascade that starts in your gut microbiome. Here's where the real damage happens. Your colon contains trillions of bacteria. The good ones ferment fiber into compounds called short-chain fatty acids, particularly butyrate. Think of butyrate as cellular fuel and medicine rolled into one. It powers your colon cells, reduces inflammation, and literally tells precancerous cells to self-destruct through a process called apoptosis. But when you don't eat enough fiber, specifically the right types of fiber, those bacteria starve. And starving bacteria don't just disappear quietly, they start eating your gut lining instead. They consume the mucus layer that protects your colon cells. This creates gaps. Those gaps allow bacterial toxins and partially digested food particles to touch the actual cells of your intestinal wall. Your immune system sees this as an invasion. Chronic inflammation begins. Now here's the sinister part. Certain foods make this exponentially worse. When you eat red meat and processed meat without adequate fiber, bacteria in your colon convert compounds in that meat into N-nitroso compounds and secondary bile acids. These are genotoxic, meaning they directly damage the DNA in your colon cells. One study published in the 2025 International Journal of Cancer found that high red meat consumption without fiber increased genetic mutations in colon tissue by 47% over just 12 months. Meanwhile, ultra-processed foods, the ones with emulsifiers like carboxymethyl cellulose and polysorbate 80, directly strip away that protective mucus layer. Research from 2024 shows these emulsifiers thin the mucus barrier by up to 75%, giving bacteria and toxins direct access to your gut cells. It's like removing the firewall from your computer and wondering why you got hacked. This wasn't always our reality. Let's go back to 1970. The average American consumed 37 grams of fiber daily, according to USDA historical nutrition data. Most meals centered around whole grains, legumes, and vegetables because processed convenience foods hadn't yet dominated the market. Colorectal cancer rates in young adults? Essentially flat. Then came the low-fat revolution of the 1980s and 1990s. The food industry responded by removing fat and adding sugar, refined carbohydrates, and dozens of chemical emulsifiers and stabilizers. By 2020, according to the CDC's nutrition surveillance data, average fiber intake had plummeted to just 16 grams per day. We cut our fiber consumption by more than half in 50 years. At the exact same time, we tripled our consumption of ultra-processed foods. In 1970, processed foods made up 12% of the American diet. By 2024, that number hit 73%. The Nurses' Health Study, tracking over 95,000 women since 1991, found something remarkable in their 2025 follow-up analysis. Women who maintained fiber intake above 30 grams daily had a 67% lower risk of early-onset colorectal cancer compared to those consuming under 15 grams. The difference wasn't genetics. It wasn't exercise. It was what they put on their plates 3 times a day for decades. So why should you care right now, today, even if you feel fine? Because your gut doesn't send you warning signals until it's often too late. That sluggish feeling after meals, that's not normal food coma. That's inflammation. The bloating you've accepted as part of life, that's dysbiosis, the wrong bacteria winning the war in your colon, the irregular bowel movements, the occasional blood you dismissed, the hemorrhoids you blame on sitting, all early warning signs of accelerated gut aging. Here's what's happening to your body right now if you're eating the standard American diet. Every meal, low in fiber, is a missed opportunity to feed your protective bacteria. Every processed meal with emulsifiers actively damages your gut barrier. Over months and years, this creates a state called leaky gut, where your intestinal permeability increases. Toxins that should stay in your digestive tract enter your bloodstream. Your liver works overtime. Systemic inflammation rises. This inflammation doesn't just stay in your gut. It affects your brain function. That afternoon brain fog? Connected. It affects your joints. That unexplained knee pain? Potentially linked. It accelerates aging in every organ system. Research from the 2025 Journal of Gerontology found that chronic gut inflammation correlates with telomere shortening, the literal measurement of biological aging, at 1.5 times the normal rate. And your energy levels? When your gut bacteria can't produce adequate butyrate, your colon cells start using glucose for energy instead, a far less efficient fuel source. Your body diverts resources to constant inflammation firefighting. You feel tired because you are tired at a cellular level. One 2025 study found that participants with low fiber intake reported 34% lower energy levels compared to high fiber consumers, independent of calorie intake or sleep quality. But here's what really keeps gastroenterologists up at night. Colorectal cancer can take 10 to 15 years to develop from initial cellular changes to detectable tumors. That means if you're 30 years old right now eating a low-fiber, high-processed food diet, the damage accumulating today could become cancer at 40 or 45. You won't feel it happening. There's no pain until late stages. Your gut is aging silently. Let me paint you 2 futures. Future 1, you keep eating the way you're eating. Convenient, tasty, low-fiber, high in processed foods. Your gut bacteria continue starving. Inflammation becomes your new baseline. At 42, you notice blood. You ignore it. At 43, you finally get checked. Stage 2 cancer, surgery, chemotherapy, months of hell, financial devastation, years of anxiety wondering if it'll come back. Maybe you survive. Maybe you don't. This is happening to someone right now who thought they had time. Future 2. Starting today, you make fiber non-negotiable. You build every meal around it. Your gut bacteria flourish. They produce butyrate that heals and protects your colon cells. Inflammation drops. Your energy returns. That mental clarity you forgot you could have, it's back. At 50, you get your routine colonoscopy. Clean, healthy pink tissue. The doctor says you have the gut of someone 10 years younger. You just prevented a disease you'll never even know you avoided. You bought yourself decades. Here's exactly what you do. Action step 1, the 30-gram rule. Get 30 grams of fiber minimum every single day from whole food sources, not from fiber supplements, from beans, lentils, vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. Track it for 2 weeks until it becomes automatic. 1 cup of lentils gives you 16 grams. 1 cup of raspberries, 8 grams. It's not complicated. Action step 2, crowd out processed meat. You don't have to go vegan, but if you eat red or processed meat, always pair it with massive amounts of vegetables and whole grains. The fiber literally binds to the harmful compounds and escorts them out. Never eat meat without fiber. Non-negotiable. Action step 3, eliminate or drastically reduce ultra-processed foods with emulsifiers. Read ingredient labels. If you see carboxymethyl cellulose, polysorbate 80, or carrageenan in the first 5 ingredients, put it back. These directly damage your gut barrier. Action step 4, diversify your fiber sources. Eat at least 30 different plant foods per week. Different fibers feed different beneficial bacteria. Variety is protection. Make it a game. Your gut isn't supposed to age faster than the rest of you. It's not supposed to turn cancerous in your 40s. This isn't genetics for most people. It's not bad luck. It's the cumulative result of thousands of meals that either fed your protection or fed your destruction. The food industry isn't going to fix this for you. The healthcare system treats disease. It doesn't prevent it. This is on you. But here's the good news. You have complete control. Every single meal is a chance to choose protection, to choose decades over convenience. Track your fiber intake for 1 week starting today. Write it down. You can't fix what you don't measure.